Oh, good evening. It's evening time here and the rain hasn't let up. Now, okay, we're going to make these very sweet little magazine racks. I think they are country style mag rack. I'm tired. It's coming towards the end of the day for me, but they're lovely. They're to scale. They're titchy tiny. These are reminiscent of my grandmother, my nanny. She had a little rack she had at the side of her couch, and it was always full of balls of wool, knitting needles, patterns, little plastic bag full of buttons and sequins. That was actually her sewing box. So this is a little homage to my grandmother. And just for good measure, I've thrown in these little patterns that you can make. I'll show you how to make them. Will I just move out? I'll explain this first. As always, A4 layout, and you're going to cut it on 300 GSM cardstock. The files come in DXF, Vector, PDF and SVG. They pretty much cover all machines. If not, let me know and I will format whatever file you need. Out of this you will get 2 of these. Cute, adorable little things. These are one of my favourite things because they bring back happy memories for me. Oh, bless. And I'm talking, we're going back to the 70s, the 1970s. Yeah, I used to go to my granny's every Saturday. Now, yeah, you get 2 out of this. Now, also, I need to point out, I've given you the option. It says on the template guide, glue 5, but I have given you the option to go thicker. That's with 5, and I prefer it. As you know, I don't like chunky furniture, but just in case, I've given you the option. You can glue 6, change all those to 6 if you wanted a little bit more chunky. So just leave 1 out. You know, you'll know. Just put exactly what it says on the tin here. And if you want them a little bit more chunky, just add 1 more to each. I hope that's not too confusing. So we'll move on a little bit. This is the patterns. The little knitting patterns. What you're going to get is 2 A4 sheets, 2 separate A4 sheets. One saying pattern front and one saying pattern back. They're very well named. What you do is you print off 1 page, the front page. Then the same page, you turn it over. I don't know what way it's going to go on your printer, and you print the pattern back. And then they'll be even and you'll be able to just cut them out and they will have the pattern inside. I'm going to tell you these are completely made up. They're full of gobbledygook. But yeah, out of this you get 7, 14, 15, 21 patterns you'll get out of it. But they're really cute. Just a little homage. You know, you could probably, you don't have to, but you could probably do the same. Add in some wool. I don't have any wool, would you believe? I need to go shop, and I might do a video on a shop for things for miniatures. I think that's what I will do. I'll do that during the week. But you could fill it with wool and needles hanging out. It looks so sweet. It look very cute. It'll remind me of my nan, Lord rest her. Nan passed away in the 80s, and you know, I still miss her. I miss her rotten. Well, we'll go to this in a little while. We'll get this done as quick as we can. I'm only going to glue down a couple of pieces. The harder pieces, or the pieces that you might think are more difficult. Now, as you can see, everything fits perfectly. So you will not go wrong when you're trying to match up pieces on your furniture files. Now, I am going to tell you, see these little lads here? These are the sides. You need a good blade. There's no questions about it. You need a good blade for them because they are a bit delicate. So don't even bother trying to cut them out unless you have a new blade, or you know, a good blade in your machine. Just put everything into its place, and don't forget, you can do 6 layers or 5 layers. It's up to you. I prefer the 5 myself, but it's, you know, it's down to people's taste. So I'm going to put this over to the side, And I just, back in 2 seconds. My computer was screaming at me, a video file had uploaded, so I had to go over and just fix it up. Now, where are we? Yeah, we're going to glue down. I'm going to do one of these, and I suppose one of these, and then that's it for the gluing. These are, they can be a little bit finicky, but they're not. They look more finicky than they are. I'm just dabbing the glue, literally just dabbing the glue, so we don't get too much caught in between the grooves. Very gently holding it by the corner. And you know what I'm going to say, get your edges. Get your edges. Now you just very, very gently try ooze everything into place. I'm barely touching it for now, just till I try get everything into place. These sides are very delicate, especially if they get too wet. So definitely go easy with your glue. Where's my ruler? My ruler's hiding on me. Oh, there it is. Now I'm just going gentle for now because those edges are very fragile. Now we can go a bit harder when we get down to it, get a couple of layers done. Now we're going, just dabbing the glue on. You will learn yourself how to hold it and how to manipulate it. You'll find your own way. And I have my pokey tool there for cleaning up later on, before the glue dries. Now we're just going to very gently, I'm barely touching it, I'm just going to manipulate it. I am barely touching it. I'm just manipulating it into place before we compress down. All you can do is your best to do them as perfect as you can, because you know by now the score. We'll be able to tidy things up later on before we varnish. Now it's this stage now where I can see bits starting to gather in the grooves. So I'll get my pokey tool and I'll try to take everything out now while I can. There. Just dabbing the glue, putting only as much as I need on. This is just water-based PVA glue, cheap, very cheap, inexpensive PVA glue I bought Mr. Pricey. Yeah, I think I'll go on a bit of an expedition during the week. I'm barely touching it until I'm trying to get into position by barely touching it. I don't want to press down and have it stuck in the wrong position. I'm applying a good bit of pressure. Just being aware of those edges, those delicate little edges. Don't go this way at all. Always along the length of the grooves. I hope you're not confused by the option of 5 or 6. It's very simple and self-explanatory. Just pay attention to your template guide and you won't go wrong. These are actually one of my favourites. Isn't it gas? Sometimes it's just the little things that you like best. Now I do have a bedroom set. I have the wardrobe designed and the bed designed. I'm working on the dressers either side of the bed. And I think it's going to be my ultimate favourite. There's a few surprises in it. I'm looking forward to it now. I get excited. I love, you know, it's great to be able to do what I love. And I thoroughly love designing, and I love to see what people do with my files and my designs. I'm just going to put my pokey tool in there. It's just so worth your while to take the time, the extra little bit of effort to tidy things up and keep it tidy. And you'll be left with a beautiful piece of furniture. And you won't be kicking yourself. I should have got that glue off. Now I'm just going to stick this one down and we're done, because I have one prepared already. Just gently putting it into position. Always on the first one I kind of tend to compress a little bit gentle. Turn it over. Now already I feel like I'm going into Dolly Daydream world, because I really do mesmerize. I get mesmerized sometimes when I'm gluing down. I forget about the whole world around me. It's very therapeutic to me anyway, and I hope it is for you too. And I hope I'm staying in position that you can see all I'm doing. I know one of my videos I kept going off, but I really didn't want to do the video again. I think the message got across. Oh Lord. Now, making sure to get the edges. Yeah, you have to take into consideration as well. Another reason why sometimes on the tiny things I only do 5 layers is because the paint thickens it up too. So take all that into consideration. You could play around. You could make one with 5 layers and one with 6 layers and decide for yourself what works for you. Yeah, a pet hate of mine is before I started designing for myself, I used to order bits in from China and all over the place. And no disrespect to China, but the furniture it was as thick as anything and chunky, and it just didn't look right. It didn't even look particularly real, you know, realistic. Now, some of the things I got were beautiful, but pretty much any of the wooden furniture, it'd come back too chunky. Now what am I going to do? I'm going to, yes, this is all that's left to do. We'll have these ones done. So we'll pretend these are wet, or these are still wet. I know these are all sick of me in my Irish book. You know what's coming. You put them under something heavy and you leave them for a couple of hours, and 2-3 hours, depending on where you are in the world, the usual damp or... And sometimes it's okay to put a few books on, because the heavier the weight, the more it's going to compress. I'm going to just take these and put them aside. I will finish this one later on. Now, I'm definitely going to do a giveaway, because I need to... I'm getting the furniture is building up and building up. I have tons of furniture made, too much. I will pretend it's a few hours later and this is dry. I'm going to put them back into their positions. We're going to get our tacky glue. Now, I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. Oh yes. This is the, sorry now, I was thinking to myself there. This is the rack center and the rack base. We're going to, that's the center. That's what we're working on. We're going to put glue on the very, very bottom. And we're trying to get to the center of this little base. Dead center, as best you can. Now, I know looking at that, I probably, now look at that. There's skill for you. That's about the first time it's worked out for me. You want it even on both sides? No, don't do that. That's what I get for being too cocky. No, we're all right, we're good. You want it even on both sides, and you want to make sure the edges are perfectly even and flush. I'm tempting fate here. Best way to do it is just turn it on its side and press down, and you know then all your edges are even. Oh, that tacky glue idea was, that tacky glue hint was brilliant. Brilliant tip. Oh, he's off barking again. I'm going to ignore him. I'm just going to shut the door. Attention me. He's just looking for attention. Now, that's that. So now, I'm almost forgetting how to do this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take one of our rack sides. We're going to add glue to both sides, the bottom and the edge. This for me is the best way to do them. You will find your own way if you don't like doing it this way. But trust me, I've tried every which way and this seems to work the best. Now what we're aiming for, see that arch, the little archway? We're aiming for the very edge of that. And we want it straight. We'll hoosh this around. It's finicky. It's easy, but sometimes finicky. I'm going to press that down for a second. We want the gap between this and the two sides exactly the same as best we can. I'm making this is sure this is definitely central. We want this central on this. Now I think that's good. It's good to go. Yep, that's good to go. Now we're going to take one of our rack fronts, which is the one with the little marks in it. What we're looking to achieve is we're looking for it to go up against the rack bottom and lean against the rack side. So we're going to have to glue the inside edge of this. So it'll glue against that. And I hope you're getting the gist of this, but when you're making it up yourself, throw on the tutorial and you'll totally get it by looking at it. I'm putting glue on the very bottom because the bottom is going to hit that. Now I'm nudging it up against the rack side. And bringing it out to the edge. Now some of these, it doesn't matter if you come in a bit, some of them are out further than the others. I prefer to bring it out as far as I can so I can squeeze more goodies into it, like wool or knitting needles, you know, or whatever, your magazines or newspapers. But like if you can see that one, I haven't quite come to the edge on that one, but this one I have. So there's no right or wrong. Now we're making sure this is all even. And we're going to go to the other side and do the other rack front. That's going to nudge up there like that. So I need to glue the inside edge. That's going to go like that. So I need to do the very bottom. I have too much glue there. I'll wipe it off now in a sec. I want to put a bit more up there anyway. Now I hope you can see what I'm doing. Do you hear that rain on my skylights? It's a noisy house altogether here today. Between my bold little doggy being very naughty and needy. Now I'm going to just gently manipulate that in there so these are definitely stuck. You want these all flush and even. Everything as even as you can get it. And we're just about there. We're just about made. Now I am going to put glue on all four sides and pieces of this. Four sides mean the two rack fronts, the base, and the rack center. All along the edge. This is definitely the easiest way of making them and keeping them even. I've tried other ways and sometimes they just don't go even enough for me. I'm just making sure I have enough glue. Now, now we're getting our last rack side. Now I'm just going to guesstimate until I can pick it up and play around with it. We were aiming for the top of this. It's hard to see because it's the inside. Just going to press it down and then I will pick it up and manipulate. That's actually not too bad at all. Now I'm pressing down so it's even and there's no rocking or. I'm going to go this side and press down, firm everything in. That's looking good. Now it's made. No, it's not, because that needs to come down a little bit. Can you see? That needs to come down. I don't know why that wasn't rocking. It should have rocked a little bit if it wasn't even. Now that's good. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm going to leave that for about 5 minutes just to settle before I get rid of these grooves. I'm making sure this is all nicely together. Well, I hope you got all that and I wasn't in too close to myself. It's standing straight, it's not going to rock. Yep, happy with that. Now I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Now, I don't know if you can hear that rain bouncing off the skylights. It's just bucketing down. I'm just going to get some fresh glue, nice runny glue. And what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of, I'll hold it and hopefully now it'll get rid of all these ridges. They'll be gone and no one will know they were ever there. No one will know these are made of cardstock. I love the whole idea of that. Now what I'm doing is I'm blobbing it on and doming it on. You want it to be raised. You want loads of it, enough that it'll stay in place and not roll off. If any bits that roll off, you can wipe it off before you leave it to settle. I'm blobbing it on. Show no mercy. Turn it around. Now you will take your time with this. Just take off the excess off the edges. There's a bit in there that's annoying me. I don't know if you can see it there, in there. Yeah, that's done. Good. Just to do this side. Now, like I'm saying, you will take your time with this. Just for the sake of the tutorial, I'm rushing and I'm not going to finish it. I have one I've already finished. Wipe off the excess. Oh, not good, not good. There's a bit of glue there, I want to wipe it off. Now you would do any parts like down here, underneath, and the ends of the feet. Let this part dry first. Oh, I never did I never did this part. Don't be afraid of the glue. It will dry flat. water-based PVA glue. And I've said it several times before, do not use wood glue. It dries like plastic on this type of furniture making. Wood glue is brilliant if you're working with glue, with wood. Now, can you see? It's all domed. That's going to dry flat and fill in those grooves. Now I have one here that I've done already, because I want to rush this now and get stuck into the patterns, the knitting patterns. Now, I did have one I did earlier on. Oh, here it is. Now, can you see the shine? It still looks like the grooves that are there. They're not, they're gone. Now some of them might, there's a chance that some of them might still be there a little bit, but it's fine. We can fix that up again before the second coat, the last coat of paint. Now you know what's coming now. Always, always, always water-based varnish. And always varnish first. You want this varnish to soak down into the card and become part of the furniture. Literally get in there, every single little orifice, all those little grooves. Get everything, dollop it on. Now what I'm going to do is, see in between here, make sure you get in there. Be generous with it, and you can take out any excess that's caught in the edges with your pokey tool when you're finished. This is going to seal it up, make it, I won't say waterproof, but moisture proof anyway, damp proof. As I've said several times before, in my old house, my workshop was damp. There was never any proper heating in it. It was humid. I won't say damp, soaking wet damp, but my furniture is out there for years and nothing has been damaged or harmed. We're getting everywhere with this, everywhere, the ends of the feet, everywhere. This is just going to, this cardstock is just going to eat up, swallow it. And it's going to make it strong and durable. And we're going to leave that until it's touch dry. While that's drying, we'll work on the patterns. Get them over and done with. Just go to wipe my brush. Now these patterns are very simple. I tell you one thing, I was looking online and searching everywhere for pattern sizes, and they vary nowadays. They used to be kind of just a little standard size, a little small sheet that you'd always fold in half. I always remember Granny's patterns had crease marks in them. I always remember that. And just to let you know again, print off side one first. Turn it around, put it back in your printer on the opposite side and print off side two, pattern back. And then you'll have a double-sided pattern. Now where's my tape gone? It's gone on the missing list. There it is. This, again, Mr. Pricey. This is just large sellotape, packing tape. Great stuff for doing miniatures. I'm just going to go cut along. Now I just hope this works for me, so sometimes they crease on me. So hopefully. Okay, you get 21 patterns. These are to scale. If they're too small for you, you can make them larger, but these are definitely to scale. For most, pretty much most, I went on Etsy and looked for old patterns and tried to figure out the size of the, it was hard, but I did it. So this is, to the best of my ability, perfect to scale. But like there's no set rule. Once it looks like it fits 112, it's fine. Now what we're going to do is, I'm just going to do 3 because I don't want the tape creasing. I've tried to do a whole length and the tape always creases on me. So I'll move this way, you can see it. Now, on the front of the patrons, where the pictures of the cute kids and whatever else is. Now, Homine Patre. Try judge it. Yes, I got it. Now, I'm sure there's better ways, but this is just the way I've been doing it. Now, what we're going to do now is get rid of all that excess nonsense. Now, we're just going to cut them. There's a black guideline. Just cut literally barely behind that black line. You want to get rid of the black line, but you don't want to go too far behind it. Maybe I should have done it on the other side. You could see it clearer. Just get behind the black line. Now I'm looking here. I knew I missed it. You look, it's easier to see on the inside of it. I think I pretty much, it's hard to see from a distance. I'm only going to do the one for now. And what you do is you get to the front of it, fold it over as even as possible, pinch in the middle, and run your nail across. Now these are going to take a while to lie flat. Put them under something heavy for a few hours and they'll stay reasonable, they'll stay flat. Now if you're lucky enough to have lovely glossy paper, I would imagine photo paper would work well. I just don't have any. So you can play around with different types of paper. Just get this out of the way. But anyway, here they are. They're really cute. They're really just completely made up. They're full of gobbledygook. The name on them is Baby Knits and Celtic knitting, of course. And the insides are literally full of gobbledygook. I mean, there's even one of them that says blah, 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 blah in paragraphs. So that's it. So they're cute. Now, if you just want to leave them as paper, that way you can fold them up like Granny used to. They were always folded. I don't know why. So now is this, I don't think this is dry enough yet. No, we'll leave it for a few more minutes. While yeah, you get 21 patterns. If you're doing a shop, perfect. Run off a few pages and then put them on your shelves all in order. Be really cool actually. Just tidying up my space. I'll be back in about, I'll give that another 10 minutes. And I don't know what colour we're going to go. Now I'm wondering what colour I want to paint. I think we'll go with this one. It's coffee cream. I think I've used it before. I have, yes, I've used it on a couple of things before. I'm just giving it a good shake. Again, water-based glue, or water-based varnish, water-based paint and water-based glue. And this is the varnish I use if you want to take a non-yellowing and water-based. So definitely varnish that's non-yellowing and water-based, and a matte finish. So let's get stuck in. Ooh, yum yum. I love these sample pots. They're great. I'm just going to go gently. I'm going to take it easy. We don't want big clumpy, we don't want to paint it all real big and clumpy. We want as smooth a finish as we can have, a realistic smooth finish. This is definitely going to need 2 coats. This paint is it doesn't cover heavy. I suppose it's all down to the pigment, isn't it? Now I'm going to get into those grooves, and I can use my pokey tool then if there's any clogging in the edges, any clogged in the edges. Make sure you get everything. Don't leave a minuscule piece of white, especially on this coat. Your first coat, getting into all those little bits and pieces. Oh, I'm coming back on myself again. Get out to your spot, Jackie. Now, over to this side. I don't have to tell you how to paint. I'm pretty sure if you want this file, you already have decided what effect you want, what paint you want to use, or what way you want to make it yourself. It's just purely for the tutorial to let you see at least the first coat. Now you're used to this by now. This is the first coat of paint over the varnish. This has to be left for 24 hours. Overnight at the very least. This is why I'm always saying work on a few pieces at the same time, or have a few pieces going at different stages, you know, it'll stop, as I always say, the impatient anxiety. And we all get it, because I know I get it a lot. I'd be willing things to dry with my mind. Especially if it's something new I'm working on. Let's get into those grooves. The coverage on this paint is not the greatest, but I know from when I used it before, the second coat, it came up beautiful. I'll try look for something I used it on to show you. I'm thinking here now and looking around the room. I have a little storage box there I keep all my made furniture in. And I'm definitely going to do a giveaway soon, because it's piling up now at this stage. Because when I'm designing and then when I'm preparing for the tutorial, sometimes I have a practice run, so I definitely have the best way of making the piece up. So sometimes I could have 4 or 5 pieces of furniture just for one tutorial. Sometimes more. And I certainly don't want to keep it all. Now I'm going to get my pokey tool. Now you would take your time with this. You'd probably do it in get the inside done first and work your way around, let it dry. It's totally up to you what way you do them. I'm just, for the purpose of the tutorial, I'm just rushing, you know. Now there's something there, I don't like the look of that. Any loose bits, just get them off. And then leave it to dry. 24 hours, I'm sorry now, but 24 hours. Let everything cure. Otherwise what will happen is if you just wait till that's touch dry and painted again, it's going to start going lumpy and clumpy on you, and the finish will be dreadful. It won't be very nice. Now when this is dry, that's your time to look and see, which I can see a couple of bits already. See here? And I missed a couple of spots as well with the paint. There's a fine line, pardon the pun, between the grooves. Sometimes the second coat covers in what you missed, so it's up to you. When this is bone dry, go over with the glue on the parts that you feel were missed out on, that or that would get on your nerves. Let it dry and then do your second coat of paint, and they always work out perfect. And you can see there's no grooves at all. Where's the other one gone? You can see there's no grooves. There is just no grooves. No one will ever know that they are made out of 300 GSM cardstock. And your patrons. Now, if you're using the sellotape method, definitely leave them under something flat and heavy for a good few hours. I would say even a couple of days. I'm going to try out, I have other stuff, other little surprises to put in with files for you, and I'm going to try out with some photo paper and different other papers after I go shopping. And I definitely will do a video on a little shopping spree around the shops on things we can get for making our miniatures. So once more, let that dry 24 hours, let it cure, check it out for your little grooves and patch up if you feel you need to with your glue. You're blobbing on your glue. Let that dry for a couple of hours and then do your second coat. Now when you do your second coat, leave it to dry for about 3 hours and then do your last coat of varnish. And then after 48 hours, everything will definitely be cured. Everything shrinks in and it's magical. It really is magical. And with this varnish, because it's non-yellowing, I know I'm always saying it, but it's important to get this point across. You've just made yourself an heirloom piece of furniture that will hand down generations, and it really will. So for now, I'm going to say slán go fóill, and I'll talk to you really soon.